What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Will the Dodgers extend the qualifying offer to Tyler Anderson? Could they try to lock him up to a long-term deal? We're going to get into that in just a second. But quick reminder for all the latest Dodgers news and rumors all off-season long. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you really want to support the channel and see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Should they offer Tyler Anderson a multi-year contract? How much would you offer him? Let me know down below. And for all the latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So one of the biggest questions the Dodgers are facing this offseason is how do they fill out and fortify? So one of the biggest questions the Dodgers are facing this offseason is how do they fill out and fortify their starting rotation for next year? Now, of course, Julio Urias is going to be back. He has one more arbitration year left. I expect him to be the Dodgers opening day starter. I also think the Dodgers should consider signing him to an extension. I would take the temperature of Julio Urias and Scott Boras and see if they'd be willing to sign a 5-year deal worth north of $100 million. Maybe 5 years, $115 million, something in that range. I'm going to drop a whole video on that topic a little later, but I definitely see Julio Urias as the Dodgers opening day starter. And then Tony Gonsolin will be back. He had a career year in 2022, making his first All-Star team, but he also got injured. He was dealing with that forearm strain. He did not look right in the Dodgers Game 4 NLDS game against the Padres, where he really struggled in an inning and a third. He did not have that command, did not have the feel for that split change, and I think it's going to be interesting to see if they can get him to 100%, or will the Dodgers look to trade Tony Gonsolin while his value is higher this offseason? That's something that I would keep my eyes on. And then there's Dustin May. Dustin May, he's a guy that he returned from Tommy John surgery. He looked great at times. He flashed that filthy arsenal that he has. You see that frontline potential, but he also struggled with command. He didn't even pitch in the NLDS. How will he look next season? What role will the Dodgers have for him? And then you've got some of the young guys that are coming up. Ryan Pepiot, we saw him last year. That was to mixed results. He also flashed, but he also dealt with those command issues. So you see with young pitchers, it's the struggle with command at the big league level. The struggle to attack and pound that strike zone because you're going against big league hitters. So we'll see if Ryan Pepiot can take another step in the right direction. And then, of course, you have Bobby Miller, the Dodgers' top pitching prospect. There's Gavin Stone, who's really had a meteoric rise down at the minor league level. And then something else to consider is that Walker Buehler is expected to miss most, if not all, of the 2023 season. Yes, there's a slim chance that he returns for the postseason run, but that was their opening day starter. That was the ace of the staff heading into last year. So will the Dodgers look to go out there and maybe sign a Jacob deGrom or sign a Carlos Rodon, one of these big starting ace-level pitchers? Will they look to maybe try to trade for a Shane Bieber, one of these names out there? That's something else you want to keep in mind. And then, of course, Clayton Kershaw and Tyler Anderson. Those are the two pitchers that the Dodgers could extend qualifying offers to. And we know at Clayton Kershaw that at this point he has expressed an interest in returning. Andrew Friedman has said he would love to have him back, and I anticipate him signing another one-year contract with LA, something in the $17 or $18 million range with escalators, with incentives. So I expect him to be back in Dodger blue. That could change after a month of staying home in Dallas. Maybe he says, well, I want to hang things up. I want to just transition. Or maybe he says, I want to play closer to home and sign with the Texas Rangers. Yes, those are possibilities, but I expect him to be back in Dodger blue. And last year, remember, the Dodgers, they didn't extend him that qualifying offer, and Andrew Friedman said they did that because they didn't want to put any pressure on him to have to sign that deal, and they wanted to give him all the time to make his best decision with him and his family. Because once a team makes the qualifying offer, that player has 10 days to decide if he wants to accept it. So how much did that impact Kershaw's market last offseason? Well, Dave Vassay said a few months ago that the Texas Rangers offered him a boatload of cash to go down and play in Arlington. And right now, now, my gut instinct for Clayton Kershaw is he either 1, calls it a career and retires and becomes a full-time dad, or 2, re-signs with the Dodgers and comes back to pitch for his 16th season in LA. And that's what I'm leaning towards. I think that's what happens because he's still effective. He just has to stay healthy, and I think he wants to make one more legitimate run into October before he calls it a career. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He has nothing else to prove, but I think he still has that hunger in him. And then there's Tyler Anderson. That's the big question today because Tyler Anderson, he was one of the big breakout players for the Dodgers last season. A guy that had been solid throughout his entire career, but with LA, he took his game to the next level. He made his first All-Star team, and he was pivotal to the Dodgers' success last season. Look, where would the Dodgers be in 2022 without Tyler Anderson? After Walker Buehler went down, Clayton Kershaw sustained an injury. He stepped up all season long. He was a big innings eater, finished with the most innings pitched on the team. He appeared in 30 games, made 28 starts, finished with a 4.3 BWAR, and after signing a one-year, $8 million deal with the Dodgers last offseason, he turned into one of the best values in all of Major League Baseball. He was a top 10 to 15 pitcher all season long. And I bring my facts to the fight, so let's look at his numbers. Anderson finished with a 2.57 ERA. That was good for 10th. A 3.31 FIP. That was good for 17th. And what you loved about Tyler Anderson was his ability to limit hard contact. He was in the 98th percentile in average exit velocity, the 98th percentile in hard hit percentage. Also, he was missing barrels, 86th percentile in barrel percentage. And while he didn't get a lot of punch outs, he did have that 10 strikeout game late in the season against the Rockies, which was his career high. He was getting chase. He was in the 95th percentile in chase rate. Also, very stingy with walks. Was not issuing very many free passes at all, in the 91st percentile in walk percentage. You also saw the effectiveness of that changeup. Early in the year, he changed the grip on that changeup. You saw tons of filthy vertical movement on it, and that allowed him to induce off contact all season long to get that chase inside and outside of the zone. And the only question now is, will he be back with the Dodgers in 2023? And now LA has a few ways they can bring him back. And the first way is they could extend him the qualifying offer. And if you're wondering what that is, let's do a little baseball 101. And this is from MLB.com. In the qualifying offer system, clubs wishing to receive compensatory draft picks for the loss of a free agent can make a one-year qualifying offer worth the mean salary of MLB's 125 highest paid players to their impending free agents prior to the onset of free agency, if and only if, 1, that player has never received a qualifying offer previously in his career, and 2, that player spent the entire season on that team's roster. In-season acquisitions are ineligible. So we know that he definitely is qualified for the qualifying offer. Now, will the Dodgers extend it to him? Well, AM 570's Dodger insider Dave Vassay, he said last week on Sportsnet, I firmly believe the Dodgers are going to offer the qualifying offer to Tyler Anderson, about $19 million. He has such great value. Not only that 15-5 record, not only one of the lowest ERAs in the National League, but also he posts every 5th and 6th day. And so first and foremost, this is technically a rumor, so let's break out that Dodgers rumor meter. And for this rumor, I'm giving it a 3 Dodger dogs. Our first 3 Dodger dog of the offseason. There definitely is serious smoke here. I definitely expect the Dodgers to make that qualifying offer to Tyler Anderson. And you can go back, I said they would, back early in the summer. Because 1, he does provide great value. He is very durable. He is an innings eater. He was very effective for LA. And also, he's got that dog in him. He's got that X-dog that's off the charts. Just ask Ian Happ when he threw him off him. Just ask the San Diego Padres when he was dealing in Game 4 of the NLDS. They had no answer for TA. He had gone 5 innings, allowed no runs, just 2 base hits, 2 singles. Had he stayed in that game, I think there's no question he goes at least another inning, maybe even 2 more innings, maybe even 3 more innings. He was feeling it out there, and I think there's a chance that the Dodgers still will be playing today. That's how important I think that decision was. And when you start to assess the future of the Dodgers starting rotation, there is a lot of questions. 1, how will Walker Buehler look when he returns after undergoing a second Tommy John surgery? Will he look to sign an extension? How about Julio Urias? Will they lock him up long term? He just has 1 more arbitration year left. How will some of of these young pitchers pan out, the ones we talked about earlier, Bobby Miller, Ryan Pepio, Gavin Stone, will Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin take the next step? Will they look to trade for a starting pitcher like they were considering last trade deadline when they inquired about Pablo Lopez? So because of all those questions, I think you try to lock up Tyler Anderson on a multi-year contract. I would see if I could get him to bite on a 3-year, $42 million deal, a 4-year, $54 million deal, maybe even a 5-year, $65 million deal, because I believe in his talent. I believe that his stuff is going to age well because he doesn't rely on that high velocity. And he has worked well with Mark Pryor and this pitching coaching staff to develop an attack plan against hitters to allow him to optimize his skill set. And also, he really has been durable. He hasn't dealt with many injuries throughout his career. He had a left knee injury, but he hasn't had these arm injuries that have plagued him throughout his career. So I like that as well. And if you look at some of the comps, that is fair compensation. And I think when you consider the fact that his career trajectory was as an MLB journeyman, he's made around $17 million in his career. I think he might jump at the opportunity to sign a contract and really secure a deal where he's locked down in Dodger blue, where he knows he's going to have success and he's going to be taken care of well into his 30s. So that is a move that I would make if I were the Dodgers. I would lock up TA long term. But let me know down below in the comment section, what kind of contract would you offer Tyler Anderson? Do you think they should make him a multi-year offer? Let me know down below. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all latest Dodgers news and rumors all offseason long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.